Hi, you guys. Welcome back. My name is Carrie Penny. I am the Happy Crafty Homemaker, and today we're doing a fairly quick tutorial on this wrapped single crochet border. Unfortunately, I do not know who showed me this border. I found a screenshot of a screenshot. Well, let's take this back. I found a screenshot where somebody had taken the images from a blog post. And I was not able to backtrace through Google Lens the pictures to find the original blog post. So I don't know if it's lost to time or if it's out there and I'm just not finding it. But somebody published this on a blog post at some point in time. I don't know who, unfortunately, but this border is fantastic and I really wanted to share it with you. This is nothing I have created, and I wish I could attribute where I learned this from to the original person who shared this, but unfortunately, somebody saved it for their own personal use and it ended up getting shared in the wild, and now I've just got... I have a screenshot that I took of somebody else's screenshot that they took where somebody took the images and just showed what it was. So if somebody knows what this is normally called, great. In a quick look through my Stittionary, did not find this border anywhere. So, but that doesn't mean it's not in any of my Stittionaries. I have about 6 of them and they all have different stuff in them. But I'm calling this the wrap single crochet edge because everything is based off of single crochets and we're creating this eyelet. One of the things I love about this is it is a finite, firm-ish edge, but it gives stretch. So this isn't, unlike my preferred generally preferred reverse single crochet, we don't create bulk in between the stitches. The extra bulk is all above the stitch here. So you can see where we're going up at an angle and then up at an angle, and that's where these knobby bits, squishy bits are. So it gives you that same feel of that rounded, almost I-cord feeling edge to your crochet piece. But you don't have to worry about it rippling because the bulk is at the top here and not in the border itself. I don't know if that makes much sense, but the bulk is moved to a place where it's out of the way and doesn't force these stitches further apart. We also have these nice little eyelets that are created, and it would be wonderful to do a single crochet or a chain, not a single crochet, but a chain stitch, and weave that through these eyelets, or taking a piece of 1/4-inch satin ribbon and running it through the eyelets, depending on what your project is. Like that would be really sweet on like a baby blanket or even like a little skirt, just to give, a little peekaboo color to that edge there. But I use this to border blankets, and I think this may be my new favorite border to do on blankets in general because it's perfect by itself. There are other options you can add to it. So in order to do this border, you need to know how to single crochet 2 together. You need to understand the direction of your piece, so the front of your piece versus the back of your piece, because we are going to be hugging our single crochets. We're going to be working our single 2 together, and then we are going to be taking our hook and going from the front to the back and then back to the front, creating these hug wrap stitches here. And then you will also need to know how to chain. So it's not hard. It is a little fidgety to explain. I hope seeing it will help you understand. But I do love this wrapped single crochet that we have here. So I will be right back with you guys. Okay, you guys, so before we get started on the crochet portion of this tutorial, I want to show you guys what we need to have to start off with are the tops of crochet stitches. So if you've worked your project in the round and all of your tops are just V-stitch tops with little chains, if you need chains in the corner, that's perfectly fine to work into. If you've worked your project in rows and you only have V-stitches on the bottom and top of your project, you are going to have to come around and do one border row of single crochets, half double crochets, whatever you want. So you have tops to work into. This will not work on the side of a project if you haven't created that border already. It's not even that it won't be clean, which is true with most borders. The open eyelet effect can get lost because of the jaggedy nature of the edge here. So you do want to make sure that you have what will be a smooth, consistent edge to work into on all four sides. So the first thing we are going to do, we are going to come here into our first stitch. We are going to join our yarn with a chain stitch, and that gives us our height as we're working in a single pattern. So we are going to single crochet 2 together. So insert, draw through up a loop, insert, draw up a loop, then draw through all 3 loops. We are going to yarn over. We are going to bend our hook around and yarn over again. So we're reaching behind our single crochet and drawing up a 3rd loop, and that's going to give us this bar here. We're going to draw through all 3, chain 1. Okay? So we're going to single crochet 2 together. Yarn over. We are going to reach between the 2 single crochets and yarn over and bring that to the front. Draw through all 3 stitches, chain 1. So we're going to insert our hook into the first stitch, yarn over, draw up a loop. Insert our hook into the second stitch, yarn over, and draw up a loop. So we have 3 loops on our hook. We're going to yarn over and draw through all 3. That is our single crochet 2 together. We're going to yarn over. We're going to come between the 2 single crochet stitches here in the yarn over space. We are going to rotate our hook counterclockwise down between the 2 and back up, just like we were going to crochet with it. We're going to yarn over, and now I've got myself all twisted up here. There's our single crochet 2 together. We're going to yarn over. I hold my stitch there. We're going to dip our hook down in between, yarn over, and bring that loop around. So we have 3 loops on our hook, yarn over, draw through all 3, chain 1. And you can see it immediately starts to form that beautiful motif with our little eyelet spaces here. So again, we are going to single crochet 2 together. So we're going to insert, draw up a loop, insert, draw up a loop, yarn over, draw through all 3, yarn over. We're going to bring our hook from the front to the back through our eyelet hole. So from the front to the back, we're going to bring a loop around, come back the exact same way we went. Yarn over, draw through all 3, chain 1. Single crochet 2 together, insert, draw up, yarn over, draw through 3. Yarn over. Bring our hook. We're going to hug that single crochet. Bring up a new, or wrap a new loop on our hook and just draw that through. Yarn over and draw through all 3. Chain 1. And you can see here where we've got this hugged stitch. It's a wrapped single crochet with an eyelet. And you can see how flat that lays. It just lays perfectly up off our work. My granny square's not steamed or anything. All right. So again, insert hook, draw up a loop. Insert hook, draw up a loop. Yarn over, draw through all 3. Yarn over, go in between the 2 stitches, insert your hook, yarn over, bring that yarn over through, and we've got 3 stitches on our hook here. Yarn over, draw through all 3, chain 1. Single crochet 2 together. Yarn over, insert hook between our current single crochet and our previous single crochet through the eyelet. Yarn over and draw that yarn over back through the eyelet. So we'll have 3 loops on the hook. Yarn over, draw through 3, chain 1. And again, we've just created a wrapped single crochet with an eyelet. So we're going to single crochet 2 together. Now here we are in this corner. So we're going to do a single crochet into the corner. We're going to yarn over, insert our hook between the 2 single crochets from front to back, draw a loop up. We're going to bring that through from back to front. So now we have 3 on our hook. Yarn over, draw through all 3. Here we are going to chain 2 because it's our corner. And we want to turn that corner nicely. Now you may need to do a chain 3. You may need to do 2, chain 2, 2. It does depend on how wide your corner is and how many stitches you have in your project and how you want your project to lay. So keep in mind, you might have to finagle your corner just a little bit. But for my last 2 projects doing this, my sample and the project, the chain 2 was enough for me. So I am going to do my first single crochet will also be in this chain 2 space. Insert in the first stitch of the next side. And that is my single 2 together. Yarn over, draw through the eyelet, yarn over, draw through the eyelet, yarn over, draw through all 3, chain 1. Insert hook into the next stitch, draw up a loop, insert hook into the next stitch, draw up a loop, yarn over, draw through all 3. Yarn over, insert hook from front to back through the eyelet, yarn over, bring the hook back to the front of the work. Yarn over and draw through all 3, chain 1. Single 2 together, yarn over, draw through all 3, yarn over, insert hook, yarn over, pull the yarn over through, 3 loops on the hook, yarn over, draw through all 3, chain 1. And you're just going to continue working single 2 together, yarn over, insert hook between the current stitch and the previous stitch, yarn over, draw it back through the eyelet to the front of the work, 3 loops on the hook, yarn over, draw through all 3, chain 1. Single 2 together, yarn over, insert hook between the current stitch and the previous stitch, yarn over, bring back to the front, yarn over and draw through all 3, chain 1. And you're going to do this until you come back around to your next corner. I find this to be it's so quick, and it just created such a nice, delicate effect without being super feminine on the project. So many things are, ruffly or ripply, or, it creates a flare. And keep in mind, like I said, my greeny square is not laying completely flush, so. But once I press this down, it just follows the stitches kind of perfectly. But I love this, calling this a wrapped single crochet, because that's exactly what that feels like. And I can see I did not do my chain 1 when I finished, so chain 1, single 2 together. And that looks like I did something wrong here, or I might have missed a stitch. So if you end where it's in the corner, that's fine too. I can show you how to do that. Yarn over, draw through the 2, yarn over, draw through all 3, chain 1. So on the corner to corner one I did, what I ended up doing for that one is I worked back 1 stitch, because there's no way to do the single 2 together without it. So you've got, instead of moving into the next stitch, you work into that previous single crochet there. And you still have a eyelet space, so when it lays down, you'll still have an eyelet. Yarn over, draw through the 2, draw through all 3, chain 1. And see, once you complete that wrap, it opens that eyelet up, and you can't really tell that that's there. And we want to chain 2 to turn the corner, single crochet. I either must have missed a stitch back there, or my granny square does not have the right number of stitches. That happens. I just grabbed one off the stack there. Let me do one more. Single 2 together, yarn over, wrap your needle around the single crochet you just worked, and draw up a loop, draw through all 3, chain 1. And so that right there, like we know there's 2 stitches there, but when you come back here and compare it, you can't really tell. There are a number of projects where I've had to fudge corners like that, even when there's, you know, projects that say, oh, you're going to have X number of stitches at the end of this row, X number of stitches at the end. And then their border is made, you know, using a different number. It happens. It's a very annoying thing to have happen. But I'm going to finish this row and I will be right back. Okie dokie. So I've worked my way all the way around my square here, and we have our last little corner to fill out. So I have not worked any corner stitches. So I am going to come into this previous stitch, come into the corner there, yarn over. We're going to wrap the single 2 together, draw through all 3, chain 2. We're going to go into the corner, and somewhere here is messed up. I think I'm missing a stitch. So for this one, I'm going to go into the previous stitch, draw through all 3, yarn over, hug our single, draw through, chain 1, and I am going to slip stitch here in the knot in the side. That's our chain 1. I'm going to come up on the top here and slip stitch to that previous stitch there. And because of where I messed up I of course would pick the granny square where I am short 1 stitch on this side. This corner is going to look a little wonky, but that is the finished effect. And you can see from the top edge here, you can see there is actually a little bit of bulk squish to the border here. When you look down your fabric, you can tell that that added density gives you plush to your edging here. But one of the reasons why I love this is this would be perfect. You could run a chain stitch and weave it through the eyelets here, or you could take 1/4 inch satin ribbon on, like, say, a baby blanket and run it through here. But you've also got a bouncy edge that's firm but not stiff. I mean, the whole thing moves together, but because it's a single crochet, there's still firmness in there, even though it's squishy. It's great, but if you run something through here like ribbon or something, that would give you an even more firm edge while not creating any rippling, because you're working 100% with the fabric piece you're putting this on. You're not working against it, and you're not creating bulk between your stitches. You're creating bulk at the top, so it collapses that bulk in the gap here and moves all that bulk to the front and to the top of the stitch, so it doesn't try to push space in between the stitches from your base work. So I was very, very happy with this. I wish I knew who had the original images that I found and took the screenshot of. That was a screenshot of a screenshot where somebody had saved it and put it on Pinterest, but didn't link back to an original blog post or anything else. So anyway, that is the wrapped single crochet border that I used to finish the last blanket for Project Christmas Blanket. I kept telling you guys I was in love with this. I thought this was absolutely beautiful. And I thought this had many applications. I think this would also be adorable on the bottom hem of a skirt, especially if you put like the ribbon through the bottom of it. I think that would be super cute. With a skirt though, I might consider doing like a piece of fold over elastic instead of, you know, something super stiff like satin ribbon, just so you don't, you know, impede walking. You still want to be able to stretch the hemline to walk. But, you know, if you've got a large circle skirt or something like that, you know, something that's got a wider diameter across the legs, then obviously that wouldn't impede your walking. But I hope you enjoyed. If there's anything that doesn't seem clear in my verbal directions, please let me know. I will put a little blurb in the description box explaining once again what we're doing. But the basic stitch pattern, if you just want to have it to write down for yourself, is single crochet 2 together, yarn over, insert the hook between the current and the previous single crochet 2 together, draw up a loop or yarn over, bring all 3 yarn overs back through to the front of the work, yarn over, draw through all 3 loops, chain 1. And that's what we're repeating over and over again. The first stitch is only weird because we don't have a stitch to go in between. So we're hugging that first single crochet without going in an eyelet. After that, we're going into the previous eyelet. So it's visually much easier to see. So anyway, I love you guys. I look forward to seeing you real soon. I hope you're having a wonderful, fantastic day.